The veterans always said space had two smells, burnt metal and regret. Commander Hale Brecken knew both better than he knew the sound of his own heartbeat. 47 years in uniform had carved him into something unkillable, or so the recruiters liked to brag whenever they needed another batch of recruits for the Earth Defense Legion. Tonight, though, even he felt old. The starfreighter Grail Widow groaned as it cut through the ruins of the Kepler fringe, slipping under shattered hulls of alien warships. Not one of them had died in peace. Their metal bones twisted into the void like frozen screams, evidence of humanity's last diplomacy attempt. Approaching the coordinates, murmured Lieutenant Yara, her voice cracked from recycled air and too much caffeine. Signals faint, but the alien distress call is genuine. Doesn't match any Empire patterns. Hale narrowed his eyes. Good. Means it's either a refugee or bait. And if it's bait, Commander? He shrugged, the movement stiff with old scars. Then we shoot first and apologize later. Traditional Brecken hospitality. Yara snorted. Sir, you are the reason Earth got banned from 3 interstellar summits. Damn right. The ship jolted as it entered a dense debris cloud. Hale's fingers hovered over his sidearm, a custom mag pistol older than most colonies, the grip worn by decades of blood, sweat, and maybe a few tears he'd never confessed to. Then he saw it. A lone escape pod drifting, barely powered, its hull scorched and pitted as if someone had dragged it across a star. Symbols etched across the plating flickered in and out, foreign and desperate. Open a channel, Hale ordered. Static. Then a voice, high, trembling, layered with multiple vocal cords. Human vessel, please, we surrender. Request, sanctuary? Yara blinked. They surrendered before we even said hello? Smart, Hale muttered. Let's hear him out. A hologram sputtered to life on the deck, an alien, thin, crystalline skin cracked like winter glass, uniform torn, eyes glowing faintly blue. Its mandibles clicked in panic. Human, the alien stammered. We have nowhere to go. Hale leaned forward. You're from the Veskari Dominion. Not an enemy, not an ally. A quiet empire that tried staying neutral during the war, until the Galactic Empire accused them of helping humans and burned half their moons in retaliation. The alien nodded. My fleet gone. My people hunted. We are. A violent tremor rocked the freighter. Lights dimmed, metal screamed, and Yara cursed loud enough to wake the ancestors. We're being scanned, she yelled. Combat grade. Empire signature. Hale's voice dropped into a growl. So that's why you're running. You led them right to us. The alien collapsed to its knees. I did not wish, Commander, please. If they find me with humans, they will purge your entire system. Hale cracked a dry, humorless smile. Kid, they already tried. Earth nuked their invasion fleet so hard the shockwave corrupted half their star maps. Yara chimed in. Sir, 3 Empire dreadnoughts inbound. ETA, 60 seconds. Hale stood, joints popping like ancient gunfire. Bring the pod aboard. Lock it down. And prep the Widow's guns. Yara stared. Sir, that's suicide. We're one freighter with overclocked cannons held together by duct tape and prayer. Yeah, Hale said. But we're human. We don't run unless our boots melt, and even then we run toward the enemy. The alien hologram flickered. Commander, I beg you. They will kill you all. Hale holstered his weapon and leaned forward until his face filled the hologram's view. Listen carefully, he said. The Galactic Empire has been trying to kill me for 47 years. They failed every damn time. So either you stop shaking and trust me, or you get out of my way. The alien froze. Not metaphorically, its crystalline skin actually stiffened, solidifying in patterns of shock. Your species, you are all insane. Correct, Hale replied. But we're effective. The escape pod clamped onto the docking ring, metallic screech echoing through the ship as Yara pulled the alien survivor aboard. Hale braced himself as the Grail Widow's obsolete shields powered up, flickering like a drunken firefly. 3 dreadnoughts, Yara repeated nervously. Mass drivers warm. Plasma lances armed. What's the plan? Hale's grin was feral. We make 'em think we're harmless. Yara blinked. By doing what? By freezing. He stepped to the command console, slammed his palm onto the emergency override, and whispered to the ship's AI core. Protocol Zenolith, Brecken lockdown. Warning lights turned bone white. The ship powered down, shields, weapons, engines, everything except life support. From the outside, the widow looked dead. Yara's jaw dropped. Sir, the hell are you doing? Hale's voice went calm. Too calm. The voice he used right before insane things happened. The Empire scans for active threats. A live ship with weapons ready? They blast without hesitation. But a dead ship drifting through ruins? He shrugged. They assume it's scrap. The alien trembled. See, Commander, this will not work. Empire scanners detect thermal signatures, neural heat, mechanical. Relax, Hale said, tapping the side of his head. I'm colder than vacuum most days anyway. The dreadnoughts arrived. 3 colossal behemoths emerging from hyperspace, their hulls lined with glowing runes of conquest. Turrets the size of cities. Engines that could burn continents. They scanned the widow. Silence. The alien whimpered. Yara mouthed a prayer to whatever cosmic entity tolerated humans all these years. Then the Empire transmitted a message. A bored voice crackled through the speakers. Scrap vessel detected. Mark it for salvage. Proceed. Hale smirked. Hook, line, sinker. The alien stared at him with something between awe and disbelief. You froze us on purpose. Son, Hale said, gripping his pistol. You ain't seen nothing yet. Outside, Empire drones drifted closer to begin the salvage process, unaware of the furious human veteran waiting in the dark, planning something so reckless it bordered on cosmic treason. Hale Brecken wasn't just hiding. He was about to board the dreadnoughts themselves. The Grail Widow floated lifeless in the void, its metal carcass pretending to be just another casualty of the war. The 3 Galactic Empire dreadnoughts loomed around it like funeral pillars, massive, cold, indifferent. Salvage drones swarmed the Widow's hull, drilling, slicing, testing structural integrity. Inside, Commander Hale Brecken moved through the dark like a man born in shadows. His suit autosealed. His mag pistol hissed as he loaded it with a cartridge the size of a man's thumb. Yara whispered urgently. Sir, you're not seriously going outside, right? That's a dreadnought. 3 of them. Each one could vaporize a continent. Hale cracked his knuckles. Yeah, well, I've never been fond of continents. The alien refugee, now physically present, crystalline plates trembling, grabbed Hale's arm. Human, why do this? You could flee once the drones leave. Live. Hide. Survive. Hale gently removed the alien's hand. That's the difference between your people and mine, he said softly. You run because you have someplace left to go. Humanity? We don't. Earth's been burned, broken, starved, blockaded, manipulated, and threatened. When a species has nowhere else to go. He locked his visor. We go through whoever stands in the way. The alien swallowed, an uncomfortable clicking echo. You are terrifying. Perfect. Hale slapped the airlock panel. Hold down the fort. And Yara? If I die, delete my browser history. Yara saluted with 2 fingers. Already wiped, sir. Good girl. The airlock depressurized with a thunderous thump. The outer hatch opened to reveal the crawling salvage drones, spidery machines slicing into the hull like metallic scavengers. Hale launched himself into the void. No thrusters. No propulsion. Just a practiced push that sent his armored body drifting across the space between the Widow and the nearest dreadnought, Varkan's Pride, if he remembered their naming scheme correctly. Big, ugly, overconfident. He clung to a drone, crushed its optical sensor with his boot, and let it drag him toward the dreadnought's underside. The alien watched through the viewport, whispering, This human is mad. Yara replied without looking away. Yeah. But he's our mad. The dreadnought hull was cold as a frozen tomb. Hale attached a mag clamp and crawled like a spider across the armor plating, stopping only when he found a maintenance hatch big enough to fit through. He brought out his favorite tool, a shaped plasma charge with 3 settings. Low, medium, and what the hell are you doing? He set it to the third. The hatch blew inward silently, flames swallowed by the vacuum. He slipped inside. Instantly, gravity returned. Lights hummed. The stale metallic scent of Empire oxygen flooded his helmet. Hale smirked as he stepped into the guts of the most feared war machine in the galaxy. Daddy's home. 2 engineers rounded the corner. They froze. Hale fired. 2 shots. 2 bodies hitting the deck before the alarms could start. He dragged one corpse over a retinal scanner. The door opened with a cheerful chime. Should have hired better security, Hale muttered. He knew the layout of Empire dreadnoughts like he knew the bones in his hands. He'd studied them, fought them, boarded them, damn near lived in them during the siege of Talos III. But this time was different. This time he wasn't here to sabotage. He was here to steal. The dreadnought's power core, a sun-in-a-bow reactor, pulsed behind armored glass. But Hale didn't want the core. Too unstable. Too obvious. He wanted the neural spire. The ship's brain. The AI nexus that coordinated fleet movements, controlled firing sequences, stored encrypted codes, and handled formation physics during hyperspace bypass. If Hale could get that, well, humanity would stop being prey and start becoming a problem again. He found the spire chamber guarded by 4 elite soldiers. They were tall, armor shimmering with the Empire's signature blood-red trim. Identify yourself, one barked. Hale cracked his neck. Sure. He shut off his helmet's calm filter. Commander Hale Brecken, Earth Defense Legion. The soldiers flinched. Even aliens had heard his name. He followed with a wink. Heard you boys were looking for a souvenir. They opened fire. Hale dove behind a conduit, metal sizzling as plasma bursts shredded the air. His pistol flashed with return fire, each shot precise, brutal. He didn't fight like a young soldier, fast and wild. He fought like a veteran, calculated, patient, mean. One alien lunged with an energy halberd. Hale sidestepped, grabbed the weapon mid-swing, twisted the alien's wrist until it snapped, then used the halberd to impale another guard through the chest. Borrowing this, Hale grunted. 3 minutes later, the chamber was silent. 4 bodies on the ground. One human bleeding from a shallow cut on his arm, annoyed more than injured. Hale approached the neural spire, a towering pillar of pulsing blue circuits. He pressed a device the size of his palm against the base. Hail to Yara, he whispered. I'm in. Static. EAD me, sir? You're inside the DRE, do you know you GHT? Don't yell. They'll hear you. Sir, the other dreadnoughts are repositioning. They're preparing to tractor the widow. Good. Keep playing dead. I'm about to wake their mother. The alien survivor could be faintly heard in the background. He is going to die. Humans cannot survive inside an Empire spire chamber. The defenses alone. Yeah, Hale said. About those defenses. The device beeped. The entire dreadnought shuddered. The neural spire's lights flickered. Then flattened. Then bent, yes, bent, like the data itself was being ripped apart. Yara gasped through comms. Sir, what did you just do? Hale smiled like a man lighting a cigar in a fireworks factory. Just taught this dreadnought a magic trick. The spire's systems inverted. Data scrambled. Targeting arrays realigned. Internal security reclassified all Empire signatures as hostile. The entire dreadnought declared war on its own crew. Screams echoed through the hallways as automated turrets spun and fired on confused soldiers. The alien survivor whispered, No one in the galaxy would ever dare to hack a spire. Hale stepped back through the smoke. That's because no one is dumb enough. He paused. Except humans. Explosions rattled the dreadnought. Hale activated his boots and sprinted toward the nearest mag-rail tram. He wasn't escaping. He was heading to the bridge. If one dreadnought was dangerous, 3 dreadnoughts, with one under human control? That was doom. Real cosmic doom. As he ran, he muttered to himself. They said we have nowhere to go. He grinned. So we'll take theirs. The bridge of Varkan's pride was a cathedral of cold light and dead precision. Screens glowed with tactical data, officers barking commands that immediately contradicted one another, alarms screaming like mad angels. Hale Brecken walked in, boots silent only because the carpeted path to chaos was already being torn apart. The dreadnought's captain, a spindly humanoid in crimson armor, turned sharply, mandibles clacking in alarm. Intruder! How? Hale didn't answer. He aimed, fired. 2 shots, 2 officers down before the remaining crew could even breathe. Plasma whistled past, missing him by inches. He slid across the deck like a ghost and grabbed the main console. The Spire had done half the work. Systems were scrambled, weapons locked on their own crew, navigation loops spun wild. The dreadnought, once a vessel of unmatched discipline, was now a beast with a human controlling its heartbeat. Hale grinned behind his visor. All right, kids? Lesson 1: Never underestimate a species with nowhere else to run. The alien survivor appeared on the bridge, floating with limited thrusters. Human, you are insane! You can't control this alone. You will. Hale cut him off, tapping the console. Oh, I'm not controlling it alone. I'm teaching it how to think like a human. Fear, unpredictability, improvisation. And maybe a little vengeance. Outside the viewport, chaos erupted. The second dreadnought, Iron Wraith, approached to tow the Widow in for salvage. Its sensors picked up the altered status of Varkan's pride. Its targeting systems classified the first dreadnought as hostile. The 2 massive warships opened fire on each other. Plasma lances tore into hulls, shields screamed under pressure, and salvage drones tried desperately to escape the crossfire. Yara's voice crackled in Hale's earpiece. Sir! They're killing each other. The Widow's safe, for now. Good. Keep it that way, Hale muttered. And make sure no one tells me I can't have a little fun. He pressed another command sequence. A countdown appeared across the bridge displays, initiating Spartan Protocol in 30 seconds. The alien stared. Spartan Protocol? What is that? Fancy human name for a mess of explosive chaos. Also? Revenge. He pulled up the targeting array. He didn't need to fire, he needed to make them fire. He altered the AI targeting matrix, swapped friend and foe designations, and looped internal shields to feed back on weapons output. By the time Iron Wraith realized something was wrong, its own plasma lances had vaporized half of its deck. The remaining crew screamed, realizing too late that their targeting arrays were feeding live data from the enemy Spire, which Hale had rewritten in real time. The third dreadnought, Celestial Fong, tried to intervene, but Hale's manipulation of Spire networks created a cascading failure. Its fire control misread friendlies as hostiles. Turrets auto-fired, engines overloaded, and the ship rocked under its own chaotic operations. The alien clutched a bulkhead. This is genocide. Hale turned, face impassive under the visor. No. This is survival. Sometimes the galaxy forgets humans can play chess on a battlefield with nuclear grenades. He tapped the console again. And sometimes humans teach the Empire that fear is not enough. You need respect. The Empire's ships tore themselves apart. Beams collided mid-space, hulls fractured, automated defenses betrayed crews, and the vacuum became a graveyard of twisted metal and fire. All while the Widow drifted safely in the middle, lifeless and empty in appearance, just as Hale had promised. Commander, Yara breathed. They're all dead. Or incapacitated. Hale exhaled. Mostly dead is enough. He pulled off his helmet, letting the cool recycled air wash over his face. Now comes the fun part. The part where humans get to write the bill for the Empire's arrogance. He turned to the alien, who was still trembling. See, kid? We weren't hiding. We were giving them a little lesson. They thought you were just a refugee. They thought Earth had nowhere to go. They were wrong, the alien whispered. You destroyed 3 dreadnoughts. With one human controlling one? Hale shrugged, a touch of dark humor in his gravelly voice. 1 human and a little human ingenuity. That's what you'll remember. The alien's crystalline plates began to shimmer, not fear, not awe, but something else. Recognition. A grudging admiration. Your species is terrifying. Hale smiled. Perfect. That's what they should be thinking. Terrifying and unpredictable. Never let anyone underestimate you. Suddenly, the Widow's sensors picked up movement. Another fleet, a remnant scouting force of the Vescari Dominion, emerged from hyperspace. Hale frowned. Damn it! More spectators? Yara groaned. Sir, we can't fight 2 fleets. Hale grinned. We're not fighting them. We're negotiating, aggressively. He tapped the Spire's systems, bringing the first dreadnought fully online under his command. The Empire dreadnoughts, broken, crippled, and now under his control, formed a grotesque, terrifying flotilla. 1 human, 3 enemy ships, hundreds of thousands of tons of firepower at his fingertips. Hale's voice came over the Widow's comms. Vescari, you have 2 choices. You can evacuate your wounded, or you can watch your fleet become a fireworks display. Either way, everyone survives, if you listen to humans. The alien blinked. Commander, you're insane. Hale's eyes narrowed. Kid, we don't get credit for sanity. We get credit for results. Outside, the Vescari scouted vessels hesitated, unsure if this was trickery, ambush, or just pure human lunacy. The dreadnoughts under Hale's control adjusted, weapons trained not on the Vescari, but on any Empire presence that tried to interfere. Hale whispered to himself, a dark chuckle escaping. They said humanity had nowhere to go, so we went through their entire damn fleet instead. And somewhere deep in the void, the Empire realized, too late, that humans didn't just fight back. Humans turned the rules of war into an art of terror, strategy, and moral ambiguity. The galaxy would remember this day. Not for a treaty, not for diplomacy, not for surrender. It would remember a single human veteran who froze in the void, smiled, and did what no one else dared. Turned survival into total annihilation of expectation. The debris field glittered in the void like a graveyard of arrogance. Hale Brecken stood on the Widow's Bridge, watching the wreckage of 3 dreadnoughts spinning in twisted ballet, their fires casting eerie shadows across the shattered hulls. He didn't smile. Not really. There was no victory in the destruction itself, only the satisfaction that humans had reminded the galaxy why it was a dangerous mistake to corner them. The alien survivor floated beside him, arms trembling, crystalline skin flickering like candlelight. Human, you destroyed 3 of their ships, killed thousands, and you're still calm. Why? Why not celebrate? Hale lit a cigarette, the glowing ember defying zero gravity. He inhaled slowly, letting the smoke curl into the cold recycled air. Because survival is boring, kid. War is messy. Victory is just a pause between chaos and the next problem. If you celebrate too early, you die stupid. And humans? We hate dying stupid. The alien clicked its mandibles, an expression of something approximating awe. Your species, you are terrifying and brilliant. Hale grunted. Mostly terrifying. Brilliance is optional. The Widow's sensors pinged again. This time it wasn't an enemy fleet, it was a human scout convoy, arriving after detecting the aftermath. Hale allowed himself a small grin. Reinforcements. Or, as he liked to think of it, backup to clean up after his chaos. Yara leaned against the console, exhausted but grinning. Sir, you just turned a salvage operation into a full-scale Empire humiliation. And you didn't even fire a real missile. Hale flicked the ash from his cigarette. Who needs missiles when you have fear, unpredictability, and a Spire AI that listens better than most recruits? The alien floated closer, hesitant. Human, what will the Empire do now? They cannot ignore this. They will come for you, for Earth, for your kind. Hale's eyes hardened, shadows cutting across his face. Let them come. They'll remember that humanity doesn't just fight back. We invent the fight they never expected. We take what they hold dear, twist it, and make it burn. He let the words hang in the air like a curse. A sudden alarm flashed on the console. Hale glanced at it, expression unreadable. Another Empire fleet, a battle group this time. Not salvage, not scouts. Real, organized warships, weapons hot and ready. Yara groaned. Sir, how are we supposed to survive that? Hale tapped his mag pistol against the console, a mocking salute to destiny. Simple. We do what we always do. Humans improvise. Humans adapt. Humans. He paused, voice low, almost a growl. Humans terrify anyone who thinks they've cornered us. The alien whispered, almost in awe. You are a nightmare to the galaxy. Hale chuckled dark and rough. Kid, a nightmare doesn't apologize. It doesn't negotiate. It just shows up. And right now, I'm very late for that. He turned back to the viewport. The incoming fleet was massive, arrogant, precise, the kind of force that believed victory was inevitable. Hale's grin widened. Time to teach them why humans are never predictable, he said. He keyed the Spire's systems, bringing the dreadnought under his control fully online. Lights glowed along the massive hull like the heartbeat of a mechanical predator. Weapons arrays aligned. Shields pulsed with energy, ready to absorb and redistribute firepower in ways the Empire's engineers never imagined. Yara leaned over, awestruck. Sir, this is insane. They'll obliterate us before we even blink. Hale shook his head. No. We blinked when the Widow froze. That was the trick. Now we move. Now they die confused. Now humans win. The alien looked at him with a mix of fear and admiration. You gave humanity hope, but you are reckless. Hale's grin was shadowed and sharp. Reckless is what happens when survival leaves you no other choice. And kid, we had nowhere to go. So we went through the Empire instead. The first shots from the enemy fleet hit the void, but instead of striking the Widow, they struck their own formations. Hale's manipulation of the Spire's network caused friendly fire chaos, scrambling their fleet and forcing them into disarray. Energy beams collided mid-space, ships rammed one another in confusion, and automated turrets turned inward, shredding armor and life in equal measure. The alien's voice shook. They are killing each other, because of you? Hale exhaled slowly, letting the cigarette smoke trail into the viewport. Not just because of me, kid. Because they thought humans could be cornered. That we had nowhere to go. And the moment anyone assumes that, we make them regret it. The battle raged, 3 crippled dreadnoughts under Hale's control moving like hunters, picking off stragglers, cutting escape routes, and leaving carnage in their wake. Then Hale paused. For a moment, he looked out at the field, eyes narrowing. This was no victory for glory. No, this was survival. But survival was never simple. There were lives lost, horrors seen, and consequences to every action. He turned to the alien. This is the truth about humans, kid. We're not always heroes. We're not always right. But we survive. And sometimes, survival comes wrapped in terror for anyone who thinks they can threaten us. The alien's plates shimmered slowly, acknowledging the grim lesson. You are more than what I imagined. Not just humans, you are a force. A reckoning. Hale smiled faintly. Better. Call it a warning. Let the galaxy know that humanity doesn't bow, doesn't flee, and doesn't beg. And if you think we can be cornered... He tapped the Spire console, and one final pulse of energy disabled the remnants of the enemy fleet, sending the remaining warships spinning in the void like broken toys. You're wrong. The Widow's hull creaked. Yara slumped against the console, exhausted but alive. Sir, that was insane. I mean, I'm alive, but insane doesn't even cover it. Hale leaned back, cigarette glowing, eyes on the void. We did what we had to do. The Empire learned one lesson tonight. Humanity has nowhere to go, Except through you. The alien floated silently, respect and fear mixing in a silent, clicking language Hale didn't need to understand. For Hale, it wasn't a victory in the heroic sense. It was survival, vengeance, and a reminder to anyone foolish enough to underestimate humanity. The galaxy would talk about this day in whispered panic for centuries, the day a single human veteran froze in space, smiled, and did something no one else dared. And as the widow drifted toward Earth, carrying stories, scars, and a single human veteran who refused to bow, Hale muttered under his breath, "Sorry, Galaxy. Humans have nowhere to go, but we'll always find a way to make some place of our own." The stars stretched ahead, silent witnesses to the reckoning. And humanity, terrifying, unpredictable, and relentless, had once again reminded the cosmos why it should never, ever be underestimated.